Hey everyone, Chris Lewis from Fox 47's Digital Newsroom. Really excited to be here with Jared Bradford at the Wharton Center, where we are seeing the culmination of a lot of work. And so we were here today to talk a little bit about the major revamp, we'll say, of the Great Hall. And we'll talk, and I want to get a little bit of an understanding of what was done here. I mean, I can tell because I come here quite a bit. I can see that there's a lot of seats that are, all the seats are new. But tell us a little bit about the project, because I know it was a very tight timeline, and the seats are definitely a little bit different than before.
Sure, certainly. Yes. So we did a full seat replacement project here at Wharton Center in both theaters, the Cobb Great Hall behind us and then the Passant Theater next door, our 600-seat thrust stage. In the Great Hall, we had a very, very tight timeline. We had 6 weeks to execute the project from start to finish. That is really tight for 24. We removed 2,400 seats. We put back 2,200 seats about. The seats were in dire need. They were past in both theaters. They were past their lifespans for sure. In here in the Great Hall, the stanchions, the metal stanchions and the anchoring system were original to 1982. The seat pans, seat backs, and armrests were refurbished in '96. But the bones of the chairs itself was original equipment from '82, and they were failing. Maybe not on a nightly basis, but let's say at a weekly basis. So it was time, and we had enough private support to start the project. So and wanted to have it, quite frankly, done in time for Hamilton as well. Want to put our best foot forward, new audience, want to show off the facility as best we can. The new chairs are much wider. We removed. Majority of our seats were 19 inches wide, and based on pretty consistent patron feedback, we knew that was too narrow, and industry standards at this point, that was just too narrow of a chair. So 50% of our chairs now are 21-inch wide. Another 25% is 22-inch wide. We have some 23s. And the smallest chairs we have is a smattering of 20-inch chairs. So we're much wider chair, which I think will be appreciated. Our chair itself, the new chair has a tighter envelope, so it's a standard seat back height versus a high back chair. Also, our seat pans fold into the arm. All in all, that gives folks another inch in each row to move around to get in front of folks that have already sat down, which I think will be appreciated. And we took a lot of time and effort, not only in the aesthetic of the chair, but then the comfortability as well. So we've got some memory foam elements, some lumbar support, and overall the feedback so far has been primarily about the improved comfort of the chairs, not so much the way they look, but the way they feel, which we were very focused on the aesthetic of the chair, but people sit in them, they don't look at them, and that was loud and clear after School of Rock. People really loud and clear, more comfortable chair, more comfortable generally, just having a wider row and a little more air around them. So
I will say, in coming to School of Rock myself, I did notice that there was more room to move past other individuals, which was appreciated, and that there is a lot more support as well in the chairs that you're sitting in. Sure. Now, I know that this wasn't the only project. So in those 6 weeks, I mean, you not only were doing chairs, but I see we have some new drapes. You have I heard some new drinking fountains and some other things too. So what were some of the other projects that happened?
Well, last thing related to the seating area is that we expanded our ADA platforms on the left side of our theater, which are 3 of them on the left, 1 on the right. On the left, we doubled the size of 2 of them and almost triple the size of the one in the rear of the theater. And that was to allow for what they call shoulder to shoulder, or really side by side companion seating. So folks that are with perhaps somebody with some mobility issues Now they can sit right next to their companion. Prior to that, we were holding chairs behind the platform for companions, but now we can do side-by-side seating. And to that point, we bought new loose chairs as well for companions. We were able to have our fixed seating company coordinate with our loose seating company. So it's the same stain, the same fabric, so it's really a cohesive look. You feel like everybody feels like they're in a brand new Wharton Center chair. But to your point, we also redid the epoxy floor in the seating area, made a little bit lighter color. Again, I think it adds visually to the fact that there's more space. We did do new theatrical curtains as well. That was a major need as well. They needed to be, the color needed to be to complement the new chair, but the operationally, it was time to replace the curtains as well. So we have new theatrical curtains here in the Great Hall and Paysan. The other, I think, high impact project was, it's probably off camera, but we have a 9-foot Steinway D concert grand. We've had it for approximately 26 years, dire need of a refinish. So we had a we were able to send it off for 3 months, have it refinished. It arrived 2 days ago. It's beautiful, it's stunning. It'll be front and center with Renee Fleming and her pianist in October, and then we have a piano recital in April, Yefim Brofman. It'll be just him in our Steinway. It's going to be great. So front of the house, we did put in, we removed some old drinking faucets, replaced them with ADA friendly drinking faucets. We made some ADA improvements to restrooms, and the signage. We added some signage front of house that was based on patron feedback. But in our Passant Theater, we redid the handrails. I know not really an impactful, fun thing to talk about, but they were, if you are a patron of shows in Passant, they were quite wobbly. It is a very steep rake to get down the front. Those have been redone and are quite sturdy. New carpet in Paysan, new carpet in the Great Hall where it was. We don't have a lot of carpet in Great Hall, but what's in here has been replaced. Yeah, we did some painting. I mean, we did all that we could in 6 weeks, coordinating each trade. We had electricians and concrete masons, of course the chair folks. So we kind of, I think, did all we could in that 6-week period.
Are there other projects that you were not able to get to that you are hoping to be able to get to in the future?
Yes, I think one thing that we left on the table was painting the inside of the theater. It was a long shot that we had the time to do that. We thought maybe for a while that we would have time to paint the inside of both theaters, and we didn't. Just, what we did timeline-wise, I'm sure if, we did our final walkthrough on Friday, September 14th, and Monday, September 17th, the School of Rock truck showed up. So that's literally how tight it was. We went beyond our project timeline by about a week and a half. So obviously leaving painting, on the table, made sense looking back. But it's something that we hope to do in the summer of 19, for sure. But that's probably the one thing that was on the whiteboard that we wanted to accomplish, but didn't.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing all of this. And for all of you that haven't been out to the Wharton Center yet, the next show is coming up starting next week for Love Never Dies. They're not here yet, but they will be here very, very soon. And you can come check out the new seats, come and check out some of the other great improvements that have been happening here at the Wharton Center, and there's a ton of other shows that are going to be here at the Wharton Center and over at the Paysan as well throughout the entire season. So stay tuned and check out Fox 47 News for more information about the upcoming shows, and check out the Wharton Center for the full show listing.